Good morning, everybody. Just from Facebook that my account is being limited. I'm not able to. This is the second time they have done this in a week to me. I have no idea what it is. They don't let you know what it is that you post that is a violation of their standards. They don't let you know what the standards are that you've. I can't post anything on my days. So if you guys, I'm going to have to stop sharing publicly, unfortunately, because what's happening is when you can see this information publicly, you're going to have these trolls that are out there that are going to say something is false and it's actually not. So I'm not even sure what it is that they claim I posted that was false, but this is the second time that this has happened to me in a week. And again, what they do is they won't tell you what it is that you posted is false. They prevented me from posting for a week, or excuse me, they prevented me from posting for a day last week, and they prevented me from posting for 3 days now today. So I don't know what's going on with Facebook. And again, like I said, I can't even see what the violation is. I can't even see what it is that they're saying is false. They won't show me. They don't even give you a chance to sort of take it down or anything. They're just blocking you. So be careful out there, guys. I wanted to let you know that. So if you do post anything on my page, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'm not going to be able to respond for 3 days, guys. So please post everything that you can on my page, share everything that you can. But if you do post anything, I'm not going to be able to like it. I'm not going to be able to share it. I'm not going to be able to do anything. And again, they did not notify me at all as to what it was that I did or what the violation is. And this is the second time in, like I said, a week that they have done this to me. Not right. I'm not even sure what it is. There's this woman, Jody Grazer. Her name's Jody Grazer, and I think that this might be it. Jody, her story, I shared it yesterday. She is a victim of medical kidnapping. It is documented. Jody has been sharing her story on her page. Medical from her on December 2nd. The reason her son was stolen from her was because she did not agree to her son having a chickenpox vaccination. She would not let him have a chickenpox vaccination. He would be injured by it. She had two doctor's notes from other doctors that said that if he received the vaccination, he would be serious. He would have serious side effects or serious injury. It was serious injury that he would have. Go to I believe it was Jody Grazer. I can't remember now, but I shared the link on my page, guys. She has her page. Look at her story and what is happening. This is a real woman. Her son, 8-year-old son, was taken from her. So I posted this information. Everything was legit. Everything is corroborated. Everything is there. So if Facebook is protecting Child Protective Services now, I'm assuming that that is what they blocked me for. I don't know what it is. They won't tell you what it is that they blocked you for. 3 days I can't post. So this woman, I start reaching out to everybody that I know who can influence this and help this, and we're already getting a plan put together for this woman. But so you know her story, you go to her page, and what you're going to find is her story logging, chronicling everything. She has had her son taken from her on December 2nd. The reason was, even though she had those two doctors say she has a medical exemption for her son, the CPS doctor, the doctor contracted through the CPS, said that those medical exemptions did not apply and that she still had to get her child this chickenpox vaccination. So she said, no, absolutely not. She took her son back with her to Springville. She lives in Springville, and she ended up having her door kicked in to her house and her son taken from her arms, kicking and screaming, traumatizing her, traumatizing him. She's 33, he's 8, she has nothing. Like, she doesn't have any family, or no real support network. She's not very well off financially. She could not afford an attorney. She could not afford to fight these people. CPS is doing this. They are targeting young women. They are targeting young women who don't have support networks and who are poor, because then what will happen is they will have to be represented by state attorneys. Well, the state attorneys aren't going to work to get their kids back. And you ask yourself, why would CPS do this? Hillary Clinton passed a law, or passed funding legislation for CPS. And what happens is every child that CPS takes from a parent, every single parent, every child that they take from a parent, they get funded from the federal government to do that. Once they take that child from that parent, this woman's story is real. And they're trying to bury this. Everybody is trying to bury this. Nobody will help her. Nobody at all. So she has had her son gone for 6 months. It's 824 Delaware. Now, apparently, 824 Delaware is some, it's like psychotherapy or something that happens there. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to research it. Teresa Riley did a quick search on it today. We were speaking about it. She's looking at doing a story with this woman on her podcast. Then she's looking to do a story. She's also a journalist for Art Voice. She writes several articles for Art Voice. So she is going to write this article. We are all collaborating at this point to get as much information, valid information about this woman's story and other women like her. She had her child stolen from her, from CPS, authorized by Erie County Family Court. December 2nd, that child was taken from her. 8-year-old son. She has not seen him since. She has not seen her son since. It's been 6 months. The only contact and communication she can have is a limited amount of time through Zoom. That is it. She cannot go down and visit. The authorities will arrest her if she goes down there. She is stuck in Springville without her son, 8 years old, both of them being traumatized. And nobody will tell the story. News media won't cover it. She's tried to call every single outlet, everybody. They are not covering it. They are not doing anything. Her name is Jody Carroll. I'm gonna save that, and I'm gonna take a look at that. Thank you very much. If you could reach out to her through my Facebook page. I'm unable to go on my Facebook page at this point and reach out to anybody at all. They blocked me, probably for this post. So please, please, please reach out to her. I posted it today. Please share that information with her. That would be amazing. So hopefully she can get the help through that site. But anyways, thank you so much for that, Carol. I'll take that. I'll write that down. If somebody else who knows me, who is watching, if you want to text me, that would be great. So, Courtney, if you would take that information and message me, that would be amazing. So, healthimpactnews.com, Brian Shilhavy will share that with everybody. But anyways, her story is not alone, guys. This is happening. I don't know. I'm not going to give a number because I don't know a specific number, but it is happening time and time again in this county to people all over this county, and it's happening all over the state. And CPS is receiving however much money they are receiving from the federal government to take these children from these people. Now, they're not doing it. They may be doing it to families. I don't know. But the information that I'm getting is that they are targeting young women, young single women who don't have very good support networks. Now you ask, well, how do they know that? Well, CPS agents go there and they know what's going on. So then what they did to this poor woman is, so now you don't even have to say that somebody is negligent. You don't even have to prove that they're derelict or abusive. Literally all you need to do to take this child away and vilify this person and demonize them and make them look bad, all you have to do is say they wouldn't allow us to give this child a vaccine. Even though giving this person a vaccine, they had 2 doctor's notes from 2 other doctors that said, if you give this vaccine to this child, he will suffer serious effects. You cannot give him and guys, 50% of the population, genetically, you cannot have these vaccinations. Research this. Look it up. Your body will not detox it and release it, and you will have negative effects, negative consequences. I posted some of that information there. Do some of your own research. I cannot post any of this stuff for 3 days, so please I won't be able to share anything. So I apologize for that. But getting back to Jody here, her story, she's been doing everything that she can desperately. Guys, we need to share this information with everybody. This is real. Go to Jody Graisner's page. I put the link on my page. Watch it. Don't believe me. Don't believe the words. Believe her. Believe her and her story. Now, they tried to vilify her and discredit her. The only reason they took her kid away from her son, her 8-year-old son, was because she didn't vaccinate him. She wouldn't agree to vaccinate him because he would sustain serious injury or could sustain serious injury. So she's been without her son for 6 months, guys. I did it live about this earlier or yesterday too. But share her story, guys. We have to come together to get this information out there. This isn't something that we need to do as soon as possible. People are being victimized right now. Children are being victimized and held. They're being held against their will, against their mother's will, their parents' will in this facility simply because some doctor says, associated with the CPS, they refuse to give this child the vaccination. It's a chickenpox vaccination. Anybody can get chickenpox, but it could be for any vaccination that you decide. That shouldn't be the case. You should never be able to take somebody's child away unless they're being abusive. But this is being categorized as abusive, guys. You make yourselves aware of this, guys. Medical kidnapping. There's not a lot of information out there on YouTube. There's not a lot of information out there on Google. You're going to have to use alternative search engines like DuckDuckGo to research this. A BitChute is another forum that you guys can go on. I do have some of the names of the individuals. I'll do more lives. I have names of the attorney involved in helping him, but I also will have names of these other organizations. Guys, share. There's some different advocate groups out there. Truckers against trafficking, bikers against child abuse. I don't know what the other groups are that are supporting this. Go to those pages. Find out this information. Do your research. Like I said, don't believe me. I'm calling attention. Believe Jody. She is the one that doesn't have her son with her, and she was called an abusive parent simply by virtue of not giving her a child a vaccination, a chickenpox vaccination, because her son would suffer and had suffered serious injury from it before. Now, her son has been in this facility. They have administered 9 shots, 9 vaccinations to this poor kid. This poor boy, 8 years old, who hasn't seen his mom, was stripped from his mother 6 months ago, has been administered life-threatening shots, 9 of them, one after another. What would happen to you or I? What would that be considered? Guys, you're trying to kill somebody. And you have the doctor and CPS, they're trying to kill this kid. And they're doing it under the guise, we're keeping them safe. Everybody's got to be vaccinated. Everybody's got to be vaccinated with 70 to 80 vaccines. Now, whatever your opinion is on vaccinations, I don't care. I always say, do your research. Do your research on vaccinations. Take a look at what happens. Allison has dealt with it. Allison has more. She is an expert. She has dealt with this for years. She has had this fight. If you want to know, then friend Allison. She's right there now. Allison Penn Nussbaumer. She and I have been talking. Nobody has more information than she does about vaccines, guys. You take a look at the ingredients on the vaccines and then compare them to what the FDA has. They're banned. Those ingredients are banned in the smallest doses. And the dosages that are in there with those toxic ingredients, those banned ingredients, that they exceed by hundreds and thousands of percent of the allowable limits by the FDA, established by the FDA, and then they allow them into these things. They have safe vaccines, guys. They're out there. Allison informed me about going up to Canada because the vaccinations that they have far less toxins and heavy metals in them. Research the ingredients on vaccines, guys. And again, my point is always, if you want to get a vaccination and they work so well, then get your vaccination. How is somebody who has not received a vaccination a threat to you? You're not. You're not a threat to anybody else if you don't have a vaccination. especially if you feel like you are and you have a vaccination. That's science, guys. Look it up. That are stone cold facts. But I'm going off on a tangent here, getting back to Jody. Look that up on my page, guys. Watch her story. This story could happen to any single one of us. Any single one of us could have our kids. How would you feel? Okay, you're against vaccinations. Somebody makes the call. Doctor, it could be the doctor, your doctor, because the doctors are required to notify. See, I don't know, excuse me, I'm not going to speak out of turn. Allison can comment on this below, please. The doctors are required by law to notify, I don't remember which agency, but if you refuse to give your child a vaccination, the doctor is required by law to notify somebody. I don't know who it is. Allison can post on that. So, like I said, guys, Allison has a ton of information. Friend her, go to her page, look that stuff up. She can share with you different websites to go to. She can, give you different groups to go to, different advocacy groups to go to. But all I'm going to say is that, okay, Jill is saying, and be aware that big pharma companies can't be sued. Right, absolutely. Big pharma can't be sued, guys. They can't be. We know Cuomo has been compensated by Big Pharma. They came right out and said that they gave his campaign millions of dollars, and then elderly care facilities gave, guys, I really share this information, and I know we sound like nutbags when we do this stuff, so we're trying to figure out how to do this in a way where we don't come across that way. Obviously we're all passionate, but these are real stories. This is really happening. Look at the ingredients. That's all you have to do. There hasn't been one government test on any vaccine, not one test, since they have started increasing the schedule back in '86, when they removed liability from the big pharma from being sued. And the health department, I can't remember which department it is, that I wasn't prepared to have that conversation, but they're the ones who have to be sued. So you're actually suing the government. Big pharma, you can't sue. So, but with Jody right now, guys, just think about this. Think about your little one that you have. Think about your little one at home, that you go to your doctor and you had two other doctors that said this child cannot receive a vaccination because if they get that vaccination, they could have serious injury that would happen. And because they have had serious injury from it. Now just imagine that doctor, because of his ego, says, no, you have to give this vaccination. And that doctor, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Teresa Riley, she wrote an article in Art Voice. She had all the documentation. She had all the documentation there, and she showed that Blue Cross Blue Shield compensate each one of these doctors for the vaccinations. So just imagine now you have these reports from these other doctors, and now your doctor, this other doctor says, no, you have to get a vaccination. This doctor reports you that you are being negligent and abusive by not allowing your child to get a vaccination. How is that being negligent and abusive? You're trying to protect your child. And then they report that CPS comes in, CPS knocks on your door, and you're welcome, Allison. Good luck. I'll talk to you soon. And so if CPS is going to come, they're going to use Erie County Family Court to take that child from you. They're going to do that. That's going to happen. So now you have your child taken from you. Now Jody, she has no idea when to get this child back. She has no idea when she's going to get him back. She has no idea how she's going to get him back. They're not even giving her a way to get this child back. Imagine if that was you. Imagine that you're in that position. What would you do? How helpless would you feel? Where do you turn? You don't have any of the attorneys that are helping you. You don't have any of the judges helping you. You don't have any law enforcement that are going to help you because CPS and family court, they have deemed you a threat to that child. So everybody's going to believe CPS and these family court systems. That's what they're going to do. And they're going to say it's for the child's safety. It's for the child's safety. They don't even have to prove abuse and negligence anymore, guys. They don't have to do that. Child Protective Services, CPS, They are, I may have been child support. If I said that, I apologize. It's CPS, guys, Child Protective Services. Now, Child Protective Services, they do some good things, right? We need them to protect kids. But in this situation, they are overstepping their bounds. They should never, ever have the opportunity to do this to anybody. Anybody. And they're doing it case and case and case again. 824, everybody's upset about kids being caged up down on the border. Where's the outrage about kids being here? Oh, nobody knows about it. Because if you post it on your Facebook page, they're going to prevent you. They're going to say it's fake information. It's not fake information. They're going to say that, then they're going to say you can't post or talk to your friends for 3 days because you posted something that's valid and true. This is where Facebook's going. So I'm glad I'm able to do this live, guys, to cover this. But man, I am not going to rest here for the next several weeks until I can use somebody in my group to channel everything through. Or if I create another page, I'll create another page and I'll refriend you guys with another page. That we need to create a movement to get everybody out. Guys, this isn't going to be hundreds of people. This can't be thousands of people. This has to be hundreds of thousands of people that we get together and we expose what's going on. Big Pharma has to be exposed for what they're doing to families with CPS because of a parent choosing to not vaccinate their child because they have a medical condition. That's what's happening. If your child was taken from you, ask yourself, if you had your niece or nephew taken from you, your grandson, your granddaughter taken from your son or your daughter, how would that feel, guys? I know we feel removed from these situations because we've got so much to worry about, but this is affecting real people, guys, just as much as the lockdown is. And you know how passionate I am about that and these riots. But nothing is more critically important, especially with mandatory vaccines coming down, guys. June 13th, that goes down. June 13th is when the New York State Bar Association is meeting to take a look and see what the legality is of trying to force mandatory vaccinations. Look at her video, guys. I hope it's still up there. If it's not, I'm going to do another live later because I can't post. I'll figure out what her name is legitimately. And that must be why she posted privately. She must have posted privately because if she posted publicly, they were calling it fake and then pulling it down. So, guys, just a real brief recap. This woman, Jody Glazner, she had her son taken from her, 8 years old, December 2nd. Child Protective Services took him. Reason they took him is because the third doctor, CPS, hired by CPS, said that he needed a chickenpox vaccination. She said, no, I have this documentation from 2 other doctors. They say that if he receives this vaccination, he's going to be seriously injured. You can't give him the vaccination. So doctor said, nope, that's not good enough. He's got to get the vaccination. She took her son out of the facility. Cops came to her house, knocked the door down with CPS, took the kid from her, and not abusive in any other way, guys. We know this. We've confirmed it because that's what we all say, right? I said it. I'm like, she must be negligent. She must have done something. She must have done something bad to somebody. And no, she didn't. She didn't do anything wrong. The basis for her losing her child was a failure to comply with vaccinating her child. So they are considering her negligent and abusive because she did not give in to having her child be vaccinated. Because the doctors said, don't have your child vaccinated. It'll cause serious injury. 2 doctors. CPS took her son December 2nd, 2019. They have had her son since then till today. She now finally has an attorney. The attorney that is representing her is a state-appointed attorney. She does not have anybody to help her. Guys, share this story. Tell all your friends. Be careful on Facebook. They will block you. If you do it privately. If you do it publicly, they will block you. And I've been blocked for 3 days. So if you don't see me posting, if you don't see any of my information or me liking you, that's why. They blocked me for sharing this real story saying that it's fake. This woman has her story chronicled. Her son is at 824. All of it is documented. Child Protective Services said that she was negligent and abusive because she wouldn't give him the vaccination. So here she is 6 months later. Her son, inside this facility, hasn't seen anybody, hasn't seen her mom, his mom in 6 months. Imagine what that would do to you. Imagine what that would do to you, guys. And what's happening too, and I don't have confirmation of this. So, but I have stories. I've heard stories. That's all I've heard. I have no confirmation. But I've heard that the parents that are having their son or their kids taken away from them, and they are targeting young women. They are targeting young women, young single women who don't have means or a support network. And you say, again, like I said earlier, how do they know that? Well, CPS is going there. They're going to know instantly that what this woman's situation is. They're interviewing her. So they're going to know that they can do this. And if they fail to comply with giving this forced vaccination that they have a medical exemption for, they took her child away from her, and they're doing this. Now, what I don't have confirmation on are the parents committing suicide. I don't have that. But just imagine if you had your child taken away from you. You had no support network. You had nobody to turn to. You couldn't go to law enforcement. You couldn't go to CPS. The people that are intended to protect you, they can no longer protect you, or they won't protect you because you have been wrongfully labeled a hazard and a menace to your child by CPS because one of their doctors said you would not give them a vaccination, any vaccination. But with this vaccination, right, HIPAA's not helping us at all. But this vaccination was a chicken pox vaccination, guys. And this child has been in there, and they know that if he gets injections, that it could hurt him or kill him. He's gotten 9 since he's been in there and hasn't seen his mother, hasn't seen his mommy, 8 years old. Imagine that 8-year-old boy being stripped from his mother, from her arms, violently, by the police. And now, I'm not going to blame the police because the police were acting under orders of family court and child protective services. They're not doing the investigations. They see the orders, right? This is not on the police. Should the police be aware of this? Absolutely. They need to be. And, and if they're aware of it, they need to fight it or bring it to somebody's attention that can. But CPS isn't going to fight it because they've labeled her this. They're weaponizing themselves to take kids from their mothers and families, guys. So, and now just imagine, now you're so distraught, you don't know where to go. You don't know who to turn to. Attorneys aren't talking to you. Social media won't let you post anything because they're saying it's fake. They're saying that you're real, everything that happened that is real to you, that is happening is fake. So now you have nowhere to go. Who do you turn to? You don't know what the agencies are. Trying to research is a joke. Who do you go to? You're all alone. You have your child taken from you. The government that you thought was going to be there to protect you is no longer protecting you. So what are you going to think? There's going to be those suicidal thoughts. That's what you're going to be thinking. What do? You feel completely overwhelmed. You feel completely helpless. Your family doesn't believe you, whatever family you have. Your friends don't believe you. Nobody you're talking to believes you. And then the advocacy groups are there. They're inundated with so many of these situations and cases that they can't handle it and deal with everybody. So what are you going to do? Are you going to turn to drinking? You're going to turn to opioids, or you're going to turn to hurting yourself or killing yourself. And then what does that do? Now authorities are taking a look at you. Now you are a normal person with a child, living your life, working a job, and now all of a sudden you're a crack addict. Now you're an alcoholic that abuses their child because you were coping with it because you couldn't get your child back. You're trying to figure out how to cope with it. So you start using something to soften the blow. Now, she's got addiction problems. No, she never had addiction problems. She's got addiction problems because you took, and this woman does not. I'm not saying that. Jody does not have addiction problems, all right? So don't associate that with Jody, but if you fell into this trap that she did very easily, you could fall into an addiction problem, alcohol or opioid, painkillers. Guys, this is critical right now. I'm working with Cy Mascio. Private message me. Please, private message me if you can help. That's the only way I can talk to anybody at this point, through lives and through private messenger, because Facebook but they blocked me for the next 3 days for posting this. I posted this information. I wrote it all out, and then I put her, and I don't know that this is why they banned me, but or blocked me for the next 3 days. I'm guessing that that's why they did it. We posted a link. Laura I can't remember her last name, but Laura she researched it, validated it, found the link. I posted it up there, and Facebook brought me down. Be careful posting stuff publicly, guys. Be very careful. That your list of friends that you have, post privately. You're going to be a little bit more insulated that way. Once the stuff goes out there in public realm, you're going to have all the trolls that are going to see it. They're going to report you instantly, and it's not going to be true. It's not going to be factual, and they are going to ban you. So I have to exercise a little bit more caution. I'm going to have to create another page, probably try to friend everybody on that page. I don't have time to do it now, but I needed to get this stuff out here. I agree with you, Jilly. They do, but they've got a tough job. They've got a very tough job. And all this stuff seems like conspiracy, right? It's so easy to say it's a tinfoil hat. It's so easy to say, that's just conspiracy. Hey, Cy, there's Cy. Guys, Cy is amazing. We had a conversation last night, he and I, and he's like, Pete, a light went on. And, I was watching the storm. I was out sitting in a parking lot just making sure nobody was out, but it was pouring. He was driving around. It was pouring. And I asked Cy, Cy, I need help with this. I shared the story with him because Natalie Greer, she shared the story with me yesterday. We're working with the Remove Andrew Cuomo group to try to get him out of office, and we're working with a great group of people there to try to compile information. Guys, all I want to be is factual. I want to be as honest and trustworthy as I can. That's why I'm qualifying every statement that I'm making. I do not want to give anybody fake news. I do not want to give anybody any false information. If I haven't vetted it myself, if somebody else hasn't vetted it themselves, if somebody doesn't know for sure, I will qualify that just like I have. So Cy got involved. Told Cy, and Cy said, Pete, a light just went on. He goes, I know what I got to do. I understand. Thank God for Cy, because what Cy has done is he's already he's tried to talk to state doctors today. He's gone out and he's communicated with other people. He's keeping a running list right now of different advocacy groups. He's the one that got Truckers for Trafficking. I've seen specials on those guys. Those guys are great. They're working hard at truck stops, which is where a lot of the trafficking takes place, and then Bikers for Against Child Abuse. But Cy is on it, and he is going to be on it. If this is something that means something to you guys, private message me right away. We'll create a group with Cy. This is what I'm doing right now, guys. I'm getting Christian Coalition together. I'm trying to get all these different things together. I'm working with different people. We need to network. We need to create these groups. This group is vital. This group is critical. Cy is going to be instrumental, but we need your help. We need to be able to research this stuff. We may need to be able to report on this stuff. We need to be able to find out who the women are. We need to stop this before CPS takes another child from another parent, guys. That's what needs to happen. This is factual. This is real. You can look it up. Go to Glazner. Take a look at the child down there and down at 824 Delaware, where he's being held hostage, where he's being held captive. Can't see his mom. Can't visit. It's probably not public record. It's not, but it might be. I think CPS actually is public record. I think those reports do go into the public record. So you could look that up and verify it for yourself and see what the reason was, why they took her child. So, guys, thank you, Cy. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And anybody else that needs to help or wants to help, private message me. I got to go now. I got to get some stuff done, but I will catch up with you later. Again, for anybody that's left, I can't message or I can't post anything on my page anymore. Facebook blocked me for the next 3 days because I posted about this woman. I put her link up there, her story, what has happened to her. And I put it publicly, so one of these trolls, they saw it, and boom, they took me down. This is the second time they've done it in a week. In 6, 7, 8 years that I've been on Facebook, everything that you've heard me talk about, everything that you've seen me say, never been blocked. Haven't been blocked once on Facebook all that time. People are like, you probably should have been blocked. And maybe I should have been, but I was always respectful with the information that I was sharing. Second time in a week that they have blocked me because they're saying false information, this time for 3 days. So if you have anything to share with me, just go ahead and share it through either text if you've got my phone number, and message me. I can still respond to messages, and apparently I can still do lives. They're still allowing me to do that. But guys, volunteer, message me. We would love your help. What's up, Wally? Good to see you, brother. I hope you're well. I look forward to seeing you back at a volleyball. Thanks for listening, guys. Enjoy your day. Sai, thank you so much for everything you're doing, and I will talk to you guys soon.